Story name: The Blind Walker. The night was quiet, the kind of silence that wrapped around the small town like a soft blanket. Streetlights glowed in scattered patches, leaving long stretches of the narrow road in darkness. A gentle breeze carried the scent of distant rain, brushing against the buildings that lined the street. It was almost midnight when Arif stepped outside his small wooden house. His hands traced the edges of the doorway, the familiar texture guiding him forward. Arif had been blind since birth. For most of his life, people pitted him, believing he lived in darkness. But Arif always said, "I see with more than eyes." Every night, Arif walked to the mosque at the end of the lane for his final prayer. Villagers often told him, "You don't need to go so late. It's dark, dangerous, and difficult." But he simply smiled and said, "The paths I walk in my heart are never dark." Tonight, Arif carried with him a small lantern tied with a thin rope. The flame flickered gently inside the glass as he took each step, tapping his wooden cane on the ground. The path wasn't long, but at night, it was almost entirely unlit. Dogs slept on verandas, shops were locked, and only the occasional sound of a distant engine broke the stillness. As Arif walked, a young man named Samin noticed him from across the road. Samin had just returned from the city and was frustrated with everything: his exams, his future, even his family. Life felt unbearable. Seeing a blind man walking alone in the darkness annoyed him for no reason. He crossed the road quickly. "Uncle Arif," he called. Arif paused, smiling warmly. "Ah, Samin, you're home." Samin frowned. "Uncle, why do you walk alone this late? And why carry a lantern? You can't even see." Arif chuckled softly. "True, I cannot see with my eyes. But the lantern is not for me." Samin looked confused. "Then why? Who is it for?" Arif lifted the lantern slightly. "It's so others can see me." Samin blinked. The answer surprised him. He had expected something philosophical, something spiritual, but Arif's voice carried a deeper meaning beneath the simplicity. "People can be careless at night," Arif continued. "A cyclist might rush past, or a car may not notice me on this narrow road. The lantern helps them see me before it's too late. My blindness should not cause someone else to stumble." Samin watched the flame dance. In that moment, he felt something shift inside him, a strange mix of shame and admiration. "Uncle," he said slowly, "you think about others even though you have so much difficulty yourself?" Arif's smile widened. "Difficulty does not stop kindness, my boy. In fact, it teaches it." They walked together for a while, Arif tapping his cane rhythmically on the stones. The lantern's soft light illuminated the road ahead. Not far, just enough to keep the darkness gentle. After a moment, Arif asked, "Why do you sound troubled, Samin?" Samin hesitated, but the calm night and Arif's presence made it easier to speak. "Everything feels heavy," he admitted. "Failures, expectations, decisions. I don't know where my life is going." Arif nodded, listening like someone who carried time inside him. "Let me tell you something," Arif said. "Do you know what blindness taught me?" Samin shook his head. "That it is not sight that guides a person. It is purpose." Arif continued, his voice deep and steady. "Many people with perfect eyes still walk in darkness because they don't know where they want to go. And many like me, without sight, walk straight because their hearts are clear." Samin felt his chest tighten. Arif stopped near a bend in the road. "When I walk with this lantern, I do not see the light, but I trust that it protects others. That trust gives my journey meaning." He faced Samin gently. "You may not see your future clearly right now, but if you choose a purpose, even a small one, it will light the way for you and maybe even for others." The words hit Samin like a quiet storm. He looked at the lantern, glowing softly between them. He realized how often he had been walking blindly despite having perfect vision. They resumed walking. The mosque appeared at the end of the lane, the moonlight reflecting off its white dome. "Uncle," Samin said softly, I think I've been living only for myself. Maybe that's why everything feels dark." Arif touched his shoulder. "When you carry a little light for others, your own path becomes brighter too." The call to prayer echoed faintly in the distance. The night didn't feel empty anymore. It felt alive. At the mosque gate, Arif handed the lantern to Samin for a moment. Feel its warmth, he said. Light doesn't need eyes. It only needs a bearer. Samin held the lantern, feeling its gentle heat, feeling something inside him melt. Maybe anger, maybe fear. Thank you, uncle, he whispered. Arif smiled once more. Whenever you feel lost, remember the lantern. Even if you cannot see the full road, carry the light anyway. It will guide someone, and guiding someone will guide you. Samin walked home later that night, not with the lantern, but with a glow inside him that felt just as real. He looked at the darkness ahead and, for the first time in a long while, felt no fear, because he had learned what the blind walker had known all along. When you choose to be someone else's light, you never walk in darkness.